Shalom. Welcome to a message for the Parsha for Parsha Toldot. In this week's Parsha, amongst the many stories, we read about how Yitzchak, the patriarch Isaac, how he was forced to leave his place of residence in Beersheba, in that holy city in Israel, because there was a famine. And initially he thought to leave to Egypt, but God appeared to him and said, no, you cannot leave the territory of holiness, the territory of Israel. So he stayed, but he did venture as far as he can go, and that is, he came to where the Plishtim, the Philistines, not to be confused with the Palestinians that didn't exist, where the Philistines lived, and he tried to settle down there and restart his life. Unfortunately, and most probably due to the fact that he was Jewish and they were jealous, they did not make it easy for him, to say the least. In fact, the Torah tells us how he tried to dig wells to find source of water, and as soon as he was done digging the well, they came the servants of Avimelech, the followers of Avimelech, and they stuffed it back up, and things like that. In fact, even when he was successful, they told him, leave, go from us, only later to come and to beg him to make peace with them, as if, so to speak, he was the aggressor. But I digress. I want to focus in on one of the verses that describes the enormity, the level of his success. And it says, quote, Vayizra Yitzchak bashana hi, and Yitzchak sowed, he planted in that year. And what does it mean in that year? It was a bad year. Very little expectation of success. Vayimtza bashana hi, and it produced in ba'aretz ahi, in that land, mea sharim, 100 gates, meaning 100 times over, 100 times greater than what could have been projected. In other words, he had an astronomical success. Question. If you look closely to the words that the Torah uses, namely, Vayizra means he planted, he sowed. Vayimtza, which in this context means and it grew and he met success. But the word itself, the word Vayimtza, literally means and he found. The question is, planting and finding are in no way connected. Let me explain. What is the definition of finding something? Think about it. I live in Miami. If I should spend the next week working as hard as I possibly can, exerting every single ounce of energy I have to find a diamond ring in the street, I won't find it. Why? Because finding an object, finding something, has nothing to do with one's effort and the amount of investment that one puts into it. I mean, yes, if I lose my keys in my house, I forgot where I put them, I know it's there, so I have to work on finding it, but I know already it's there. But to find an object is happenstance. To find an object, to be more accurate, is actually something which is divinely directed. God wanted me to find it in that moment. I found $100 bills on the floor. It's not due to any effort or any smarts or anything I've done or didn't do. Thus, why does the Torah portray his success and the result of his work in such a means? The answer is, and this is a tremendous lesson for us, Yitzchak plowed, Yitzchak put in seeds, he sowed, Yitzchak cultivated the land, he irrigated it, he took care, he did everything that he has to do for it to grow. But not for one moment did he convince himself, did he believe that his success will come as a direct result of what he's doing. In other words, he believed that whatever he succeeds, whatever he's going to be given for his parnasah, for his livelihood, whatever it is that he will profit from this, will be in a form of and parallel to finding something. Quote unquote, vayimtza, and he found. Meaning, just like when one finds something, it's clear and obvious that it's coming from Hashem. It's nothing that you can attribute to your own effort and your own smarts. Likewise, he was convinced that his success will come directly from Hashem. will be a result of what Hashem wants. But why is he working? Why is he investing time and effort? Because that's what Hashem wants us to do. We have to do our part. We have to make our effort. To conclude, I will just share a nice story that I heard that relates to this, where many years ago, a Jew came crying to a great famous rabbi. He was a coachman. So essentially, how did he earn his parnassah? How did he earn his living? He had a little wagon and a horse. And that horse was the horsepower, literally, right? And he would deliver things. He would take people for fares, taxi, whatever it is. That's how he made his living. And he comes, he's crying hysterically. And the Rebbe said, "What's up? What's the matter?" The rabbi says. And he says, "Rabbi, my parnassah, my living, was always from this horse, and now the horse died. What do? I'm beside myself." And the rabbi looked at him lovingly and said, "My dear brother, if you truly believe that your parnassah, your living, came from that horse, you have a lot to cry about. And don't stop crying because it's really over. But if you believe that your living came from Hashem, and it's just that up till now, Hashem chose the means through which to give you your parnassah, your livelihood, through the horse, then you don't have any reason to despair, because Hashem will find another horse, He'll find another means, and so on and so forth. May you always only experience and enjoy tremendous success in your parnassah without any hardships whatsoever. Shabbat Shalom.